Hi there. Welcome to Bible Slash Chat. Jason, hello. How are you?
Good. How are
It's
you?
not on mute.
Okay. You don't have to bring
You're
that
trying
into
to
the conversation.
correct all the time. I'm
You're
just
sick.
kidding. I'm not sick. I just have like a scratchy throat.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Okay, so it's good to have you in the office. Anytime you're here, I feel like I should
Do this.
force you
I
into sharing your wisdom with the world on Bible
Yes.
Slash Chat.
Much wisdom to share.
For all of our listeners, both of them that listen will be very thrilled by everything that's about to come out of your mouth.
No.
No, so
No, anyway.
you used to be on staff here at FBC.
I did.
Now
I was.
where are you?
Why do you keep doing this?
Because just say it.
I don't. I'm at Lighthouse Bible Church, Orange County.
Okay, and what is your official title?
Senior pastor.
Senior pastor.
Not
Yes,
junior
very good.
anymore.
Not junior anymore. Okay. So
Yeah.
your responsibility is preaching pretty much every week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What percentage of the year do you preach the main service?
Right now, I mean a lot. Yeah, like well
Like
over
90.
75. Yeah,
Yeah.
as of right now. Yeah.
So you're preaching a vast majority of the time.
Yep.
And then you have 3 elders.
Total. Yep.
Okay. And then as you're preaching 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And you have staff guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One of them's an elder.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So do you guys do anything related to feedback?
Yes.
On the sermons, on
Yeah.
the service.
Staff does a review.
A service
Regularly.
review.
Service review / sermon review. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're giving you feedback on your sermon.
And vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
When they preach, you give them feedback.
Yeah, or even on their classes.
Okay.
And things like that. If anyone is in it, or if
Okay.
there's a recording,
So if you've been in it, there's a constant sort of flow of feedback,
Lord willing. Yes.
positive and negative.
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting.
Trying to. I mean, I got that from being at FBC.
Yeah.
Right. We used to do that.
Yeah.
You know, have the Sunday review
Yeah.
at our staff meetings.
Yeah.
So I just brought that over,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was always good to have my own. Just for myself, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sermons critiqued
Yeah.
by other guys who are in ministry or aspiring to be in ministry.
And who have eyes to see things that way.
Yeah, that kind of awareness.
Okay. So do you enjoy that?
You know what? Not always, but I can't remember it ever being like. To be fair, though, maybe I don't know if I enjoy is the right. I never dreaded it,
Yeah.
even here or
Yeah.
there, wherever. I mean, the only 2 places I've experienced, because it was never like a. It didn't feel like people were just being nitpicky.
Yeah. Like tearing you down. for
Yeah, no,
purpose,
it wasn't personal. It wasn't like just an extended like let's just go at the sermon
Just
or
tear
at
it
the
down.
Yeah. It never felt like that. So I always benefited from it.
Mm.
You know, even if it was like a small little criticism or tweak that was offered or some
Yeah.
kind of perspective that I didn't think about.
Totally.
Even if I didn't initially agree with it, I know that I don't think I ever walked away from a sermon review or service review thinking, "Wow, that was a waste of my time," or
Yeah.
"That was totally off." And
Yeah.
you know,
But in those
Anyway,
moments when you're like, "Hey, any feedback on the sermon?"
yeah.
What?
Of course.
What happens in your heart?
I think there's an initial sense of like, I wonder what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
Fear of man.
Anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah, you want everything to be always good.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's always
I
positive.
mean, that's like the pastor's curse. You want everything to always be okay and everyone to be okay about everything, especially if it's relating to you.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Totally. Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
You know.
It's very difficult to open yourself up to that.
Yeah, you know, and I think, and if you're not used to it, you're trying to instill a culture of that.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, it might not be as much feedback,
Mhm.
honestly, right? But if you have guys over time getting
Yeah.
that sense of, oh, this is what this is about,
Yeah. Getting comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Being able to.
comfortable with each other,
Yeah.
you'll give more feedback,
Mm.
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I think.
And then why? So obviously it's somewhat challenging initially. Maybe initially it's challenging for you, challenging for them.
Yeah.
It's really hard to actually give feedback
I think that's actually harder in some ways.
because you're like,
Yeah.
You also have to listen with more of a critical spirit, maybe, which normally
I
you just want to just like
know.
receive.
I know.
But then you have to like, at least for me, I have to like turn my brain on to a certain
A
way
little
to
bit,
like
yep.
think more critically.
Yep. And which you don't want, like you said, you don't want to do because you just want to receive the word. But then you're like, oh, I got to look at the structure. I got to think about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
structure, the
Structure,
flow,
yeah.
logic. You know,
Yeah.
did he hit that point right or not, or
Yeah.
all those kinds of things that you might do in a preaching workshop.
Yeah, totally.
Which you don't want to do in a sermon,
Exactly.
in an actual service.
During the service.
And
yeah.
yet, at the same time, as leaders and as pastors, I think that's part of the part of the job, part of the call
Yeah.
is to be discerning about those things
Yeah.
and actually pick up on those things while still worshiping
Yeah.
Christ,
Yeah.
which I guess you get better at it over time. It's
Yeah,
not easy.
totally. It's interesting too to me, like it's those things are like spiritually appraised in a sense.
Not like yeah, I
It's
know
not
what you
like
mean.
just like, there's these like specific homiletical rules and you're not
No,
following them, but it's more
no.
like where was the spirit very evidently
Yeah,
not working or moving
yeah,
through the
yeah.
sermon?
And I think that's where it is. It's not just a matter of like, yeah, homiletics,
Yeah,
outline structure,
totally.
word study, grammar, something's off, something wasn't hit right.
Yeah.
Sure, you want to definitely bring those to bring those things up.
Yeah.
But the most important thing for I think we want to see is like like spiritual preparation.
Totally.
Like when something has been baked,
Yeah.
cooked
Totally.
over time, it's like was there prayer, was there like the trusting in the spirit,
Yeah.
and
And you can sense that.
I think you can feel that. And I
Yeah,
think
I
as
agree.
believers, we all, we have the Spirit. Every one of us does. And
Yeah.
as we're listening, he's kind
Yeah.
of hitting different
Yeah,
points in
yeah.
our soul,
Totally.
And so that can sometimes that can be a little bit fuzzy when we talk about things like that.
Yeah.
But we're trying to discern whether or not maybe the guy is worshiping Christ himself
Yeah, totally.
up there during the prep,
Yeah.
all of it.
Is that happening in his heart? Is it
Yeah.
because it is a heart activity as
Yeah.
much as anything else?
Much more than just like the delivery
Yeah.
and did he get it right. Although clear, all those things are important
Yeah.
too, of course, but the main thing,
Ultimately, those things are secondary to that spiritual reality.
I would say
It's super
so.
helpful.
Yeah.
And then, so like most of the people at our churches might not know that we actually do this on a regular
Fair.
basis.
Yeah.
Maybe, so obviously those are all the reasons why.
Yeah.
Is there a scriptural mandate to do this? Would it be wrong to not do it?
I don't think it was wrong not to do it. I mean, we're just briefly talking about this,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean in First Timothy, where is it? First Timothy 3, it talks about how pastors are to take pains with these things,
Yeah, yeah.
which are things related to the gifts God has given them to be pastors.
Yeah, yeah.
Right above it,
Yeah.
right? And be absorbed in them so that your progress will be evident to all.
Yeah, yeah.
Your growth in not only your growth in the faith, your growth in ministry,
Yeah, yeah.
your growth in exercising your gifts,
Yeah.
one of which is teaching.
Yeah, totally.
And so having that being evaluated
Yeah,
and like submitted to other guys,
yeah.
it's all part of that.
And growing and
Yeah.
changing that.
Progressing in
Yeah.
it. Like it should be evident to all. And I guess that's part of that's like a principle that would undergird why you would do any kind of feedback review session,
Totally. Yeah.
whether it's in a staff meeting or however you do it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So you would say your preaching needs to improve?
Of course.
You know you're my favorite preacher. You really are.
This is terrible.
This is terrible. I don't think you're. I'm
You
just.
can't use those kind of words like
Ev-
favorite.
You know what I mean. But
No,
everyone's preaching needs to improve. Obviously.
everybody needs to
Yeah,
improve.
we all need to grow. And
Yeah.
actually, like one of the most helpful and easy ways to do that is to just be critiqued.
Yeah.
Okay, so last thing, when you're going to give critique,
Oh,
you got
okay.
you got 4 positive things and 1 like big kind of negative thing. How do you structure that in your conversation?
It's a sandwich, right? Nice.
Yeah.
Harsh. Nice. Just like counseling. Good stuff. Oof.
Oh,
And then
man.
like sometimes I don't know if I think of that consciously, but yeah, I'll try to first find something encouraging or positive to say because
Yeah.
usually there is something outside of just like, well, that was a biblical
Yeah.
text you
Yeah.
chose. You know?
That was a sermon, kind of.
Yeah, just something positive for sure. There always will be. But then I think I hopefully I'm growing at this. I would have been usually reticent about these kind of things, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's just to say it straight,
Yeah,
and I think that's better as opposed to like beating around the bush
yeah,
and taking about 20 minutes to get to something that you could say in about 2
yeah, totally.
and not extensively going on and
No,
on
yeah.
lecturing the guy, but just specifically what the issue is,
Yeah.
the problem, and why that's a problem.
Yeah,
And like as long as my heart's not, I'm not trying to like tear the guy
Yeah,
down,
totally.
but out of love and care for him and his progress, and of course for the church.
yeah, his
as well.
hearers. Yeah,
Yeah, because
totally.
that issue, if it's that big,
Yeah,
is going to be something that will bother, affect negatively
yeah,
the hearers.
totally.
So, yeah,
That's
pretty
good.
much straight up, but not necessarily immediately. I mean, barring like something
Yeah, if it's like
very bad.
dramatic.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, cushion it a little bit.
Cushion it a little bit. No, it was good. Yeah, it was really
I don't know,
good.
what do you do?
Anyway, it was horrible. No, I'm just kidding. I think about the same. I mean, I think that's probably the similar. I think usually there are lots of good things. I'm like, hey, yeah,
Generally
overall it was
speaking, right?
good.
Yeah,
And then here's this one thing that I felt like was off,
yeah.
So
And then they get scared because it's the pastor, right?
yeah, I know. But it's just the opposite,
Especially your
right?
staff.
Ah, come on. What
I'm just joking. No,
If
John's
either one
not
of
like
us is
that.
Pharaoh, it's you.
No, no, no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think, but there's that element too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like as the head pastor who does most of the preaching,
Yeah, yeah.
giving the feedback, it is like you want to be careful how you say things too.
Totally.
I know that's a weird thing to say.
No, it
it's not
is.
like our feedback is more important
No,
or
no.
always so much better. It's not that. It's just there is something to that.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of maybe say position.
Yeah, what it is.
know?
Yeah.
And so I want to be careful how I say things too.
Yeah.
And like as wise as possible, but out of love.
Yeah.
I think it's not helpful if you just don't say it.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't that guy then has egg on his face.
Yeah.
And you want to part of loving him is to
Care for him.
do
Yeah.
that.
Let him know.
Yeah, just like you would want that too if you had egg on your face.
Yeah,
You're like,
totally.
Hey, just let me know.
Tell me.
So
Good. That's super helpful. Thank you. Can I just give you feedback on what happened just now?
it's terrible.
I'm just kidding. No, it was very good. It was very good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good, I think. Anyway, I hope that's helpful for you as well.
There's feedback.
Yeah, if there's feedback. You can email me at info@faithbibleoc.org. Thanks so much.